Hello everybody, my name is Janet Ravel Orr, and yes, I'm the CEO and founder of Foreave Stars International and the producer of the Mini Woodstock Festival. Hope you do enjoy this month's Mini Woodstock Festival, and keep watching everybody, okay? All right, bye-bye for now from Goleta in California at the Dream Machine USA. Bye-bye for now. Hey everybody, you're at the Mini Woodstock Festival in Santa Barbara, California. Yes, this is the show where Foreave Stars International shine. It's for entrepreneurs in the entertainment field. And tonight we have some great guests for you, so keep tuned. Here we go at the Dream Machine USA, telling you, lift your glasses, get all your hors d'oeuvres ready, because we're gonna have fun tonight. You're at the Dream Machine USA at ABG Studios and our TV studios, Mini Woodstock Festival. So join us, have fun tonight. We've got some great guests for you. Yay! Keep tuned, everybody.
And here's Lucy Looker, yeah.
Well, hello everybody. Yes, it's Lucy Looker reporting for the Foreave Stars International. And this month I am so excited because I know this lady. For a short time I did, and so did so many people from TVSB. But mostly everybody around Santa Barbara knows this lady because whenever she comes to town or whenever she does anything in this town, she leaves a wonderful impression, and everybody, honestly, L-O-V-E, they love her. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our Foreave Stars International, who has flown in from Ecuador for this wonderful interview and to see people in Santa Barbara. Welcome, Laura Inks Bodine. Is that how I say that?
That's correct. Thank you.
I'm so happy you were able to come. Oh my gosh, this lady is so busy. And I do want to ask you lots of things about yourself, you know, why the art and everything. But first of all, I want Santa Barbara to realize something. If you've been following all the exciting things about the arts around here, you'll know, and everybody seems to know it now, a place called the Funk Zone. Well, this lady, it was her brainchild. It was her baby. And we're so excited, and we want to. Everybody in Santa Barbara wants to say thank you to you. I know my daughter loves to ride up and down on that area on her bike, and everybody, I mean, everybody talks about the Funk Zone now. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. It was a sort of, wasn't very nice down there. You made it beautiful, and of course it's going to eventually, they're going to build a hotel there. But you know, the fact that you went out of your way and came up with a creative way for everybody to enjoy the Funk Zone. And now it's always going to have that name. And we thank you. Thank you, Laura. It was really fun. Give me a hug, honey. Yeah, really. Laura, please tell us a little bit about these drawings and where you've been.
Okay.
Why the art world, and tell us about Laura Inks Bodine.
Wow.
So welcome.
Okay, well thank you. Thank you so much,
You're
Lucy. It's a
welcome.
pleasure to be here. Well, first of all, we've been living in Ecuador for the last 7 months and just really taking in the culture and art. We're in Cuenca, which is the 3rd largest city, and it's the cultural seat. And so, of course, it's just a great place to absorb art, music, culture. All the children learn to play musical instruments. Everybody plays, and they serenade each other off the balconies. And it's kind of a throwback to another time, another place and time. We saw these street artists that were creating on their very own balcony, and I know that street art is very popular in Ecuador, so I thought, oh, I wonder if they've done anything, or, that I've seen. And I engaged them in conversation, asked them if they had a card, and they said no, but come in.
Wow.
So of course we're in. Now we're in the art studio, and there's drawings and paintings and puppets hanging that they've made and weavings that they're doing.
Wow.
And just like these multi-talented kids, and they're all in a rock band together, which you would appreciate that. So, there's like a drum kit in the middle of the art studio, and I mean, they're just amazing guys. And so basically it's this group called La Comuna. It means the community.
Oh.
And they're a collective of artists. And whenever they make something, they always sign La Comuna, whether 1 or 2 or 4 of them work on something. Their band is La Comuna, their art is all La Comuna. And they gave me these to bring here to the United States to paste up somewhere for art. And so I'm going to paste them up on the best project I know in the Funk Zone, which is the Amass Gallery. Amass stands for Artist Making a Street Scene.
Wow.
And when we first looked at that building, it was dilapidated. It was covered with broken windows and glass everywhere. And I happened to meet the owner in a bar one night. And I said, your building looks like crap. I said, let me put some art on it. It'll look really good. It'll make it look like an outdoor gallery. I promise I'll get good artists. It'll be wonderful. And he gave me permission. And so from that time on, I had an email that said, yes, go for it. And I printed the email out and gave it to all the artists so that they would have their permission slip, basically, and not get in trouble for painting. Because the project itself was never really sanctioned by the city or by any organization.
They had to just go along with it, I guess.
You know what? Once it was there,
what
could they do? And it's fabulous. It's like it's a place where people go to take pictures, and it's a great tourist spot. And the best part is the artwork changes every 4 months organically. I get enough artists to redo all the panels.
Wow.
There are 18 panels.
Wow.
And they just show up with their paints. Nobody gets paid. I don't get paid. I organize it, and the artists provide their material and their sweat equity. And we have this amazing outdoor gallery at the very front of Santa Barbara.
It's amazing. I know. People are like, it's a word of mouth thing now. I mean, people
definitely.
Actually talk about the Funk Zone. What? You haven't been to the Funk Zone? People are visiting Santa Barbara. You haven't been to the Funk Zone? You got to go to the Funk Zone. I don't know what they're going to do about building a hotel there and pulling all this down, because the people that do that will probably feel sad because it's pretty.
I really hope, and I've heard some rumors that the new project is going to incorporate some kind of public art. And of course, I don't think it's going to be, there'll probably be a process, an application. You have to give slides.
Yeah, right.
And street artists are not real great for following through. It's like, if I say, meet me there Friday at 4 o'clock with your paints, they're there. But as far as like, writing a letter saying, what their artist statement and all that is, they're just not, these are visceral artists. These are people like these guys that are making art because they can't not do it.
Exactly.
It's in them. It has to come out. These are paintings of Yasuni, like indigenous Indian boys.
Wow.
And if you can see at the base, there's they actually have little shoe shine kits.
Right.
And you will find when you're in Ecuador, you don't really see poor people begging. You see everybody working or trying to work, trying to earn money. They want to sell you something. They have a wheelbarrow of strawberries. They have their shoe shine kit. Everybody is, they want to be useful. They want to work. They don't want to beg. So that's a big difference from there to the United States.
Even to the United
States.
Yeah.
I'm noticing it more here now because I don't notice it there, and I thought I would.
Do you know what? That reminds me, because I traveled all the way across from Australia to England, and I went overland, or Janet did. This is Lucy right now, but Janet did. And I remember going into Ubud in Indonesia, in Bali, and that was the artist town too, Ubud. But the whole of Bali, I don't really even, but then I did it way back in 76, 77 or something, and I don't remember seeing beggars there. I did in Jakarta, and I did in other parts of Indonesia, but this Bali was something different then. I don't know if it's like it now that they have beggars, but it was the same as what you're explaining to me about Ecuador. Each person wanted to have their own way of making a living, and they would make all these different things for the tourists.
Yes.
For the tourists, or and it could be food, it could be, like you say, artwork or weaving or baskets. So that really makes my heart feel good to know that, yes, there's still places like that, because I really loved that about Bali. I really did, and I worry that now it's not like that. It's, you know, like everywhere.
Well, I think the larger the city, the more, you know, poor people you have, and you might see some of that in some of the larger cities. Cuenca, the city we're in, is 500,000 people, and it's the third largest city. So the other two are like, they have millions of people. So it could be different there, but the city we're in is just delightful.
Just delightful.
Yeah.
And is it near the ocean, or is it inland?
No, it's inland. It's actually at the base of the Andes. So we're at 8,500 feet. And it's like eternal springtime. It's 50 to 75 degrees constantly. It rains every day, big puffy clouds, but then it clears up and the sun shines and the blue sky and the rainbows, and it's just wonderful.
Let's hear a bit about you. So where were you born, raised? Why art, you know, and why Santa Barbara if you weren't born here, you know?
Sure. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And when I was a baby, my parents divorced and my dad moved to LA. So from the time I was 8, I was like a bi-coastal kid. I'd fly to California for the summers and then do school in Pittsburgh and that sort of thing. And when I would fly to California for the summer, I didn't have a lot of friends in my dad's neighborhood. So I would start, I'd round up the kids and make an art camp. And we would produce a play that we charged $0.25 to see.
Oh, you sounds like Janet.
And yeah, I mean, we just, you know, we played and we ran through the sprinklers and we did finger painting and we had nap time and then we did the play and then, you know, it was, you know, and then at the end of the summer, all the parents like got together and gave me a bracelet and, you know, it was just like I found myself. I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I knew that doing art and working with kids and playing with kids and playing with art was like a part of who I am. And I finally, when I went to college, I got a degree in art education, became an art teacher.
Wow.
And then here in Santa Barbara, we moved here in 1991 when my daughter was born. And my husband at the time took a position at City College teaching sculpture. And
so you married an artist?
I married an artist.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we had 4 kids. We had 2 that we adopted, 2 older kids, and then 2 that we had biologically. And we had a great life here in Santa Barbara raising our kids. It's a great town for that.
So what year was that?
We came here in 91.
91.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I was here for 22 years. 2004, I opened Arts Alive, which was an art center for children of all ages. We had classes, camps, workshops. We had ceramics, painting, drawing, theater, dance, music. It was like we had these wonderful camps. I'm sure many kids out there will remember having gone to Arts Alive. Between 04 and 08 was when I had the business. And so then I got the job at TVSB where I met you as the Director of Education and fundraising, which
we just love.
Yeah, we love
Laura.
Fundraising.
Yeah, we do, everybody. But Laura was, you know, just an asset to TVSB. Everybody still loves you. And we miss her. We miss her terribly. But, you know, Ecuador is very lucky to have you. So how long are you going to be in Ecuador?
Well, we've signed a 2-year lease.
Nice.
So that's our bottom base. But I think when we go back, we're going to try and extend that because we've already made this amazing space, and we have this. It's like a 17-room colonial mansion, and the whole bottom floor is for the public. It's like we have workshops and classes. We have everything from yoga to singing to writing workshops to where we have we put a theater in there, and we've had puppet shows and musical bands playing, and all the money that we get, which is like $5 a head donation to come in the door, we give it all to the musicians and the artists, because we really want to, first of all, we want to collaborate with them. We want to meet them, we want to do stuff with them, and we want to see the artists supported. And it's really funny, a group of artists got together in our space, a young artist, and they were talking about their trials and tribulations. Of course, it was all in Spanish, so I had to get, translations. But it turns out that they're concerned about all the same things that artists here are concerned about. Survivability, how can they make a living doing their art? They don't want to do it in the off hours and have like a straight job, so to speak. They want to make a living doing their art. And so how can they do that? How can they be sustainable? How can they get their work out? How can they get known? It's all the same stuff that artists here are interested in. So I feel like I can really sort of plug my expertise and what I do down there. Although, they have murals on every corner already. I thought I would go down and start a mural project, and I was like, oh my God, they're already doing it. So what am I going to do? So I've created Arts Alive for me. I'm painting, drawing, acting, singing, dancing. I'm just creating the space for others, but more for myself for the first time in my life than ever, which is really fun.
So you're doing your dreams. That's what this program is all about.
Yeah.
And as I say, everybody, as far as we're concerned, Ecuador bands, including Cooperative, is definitely a part of the Foreave Stars International Network. And so therefore, send people when they come over here. We'll have them on the mini Woodstock. We'll get their art out there. We'll get whatever it is they love to do.
I'm glad you mentioned artists coming here, because I'm really interested in finding funding for artists to do swaps.
Wow.
We have plenty of room at our house to have artists come and stay and do workshops and interact with other artists in Ecuador. But I would love for these Ecuadorian artists to have opportunities to come here. I'm bringing some of their work to a friend's gallery in LA, and we're putting some work up here in Santa Barbara. So we're taking these, basically they're college students in Ecuador, and we're turning them into international artists.
That's
really exciting.
It is exciting. That is exciting.
So I would love to have them have an opportunity to come here and see. It would broaden their horizon so much, and probably change how they look at things, and would change their art too.
Exactly, and that's what I think is so great about the whole network thing, and it's happening. This was a dream I'd had since 1978, where everybody would travel through the Foreave Stars International Network. They would meet other artists, other performers, other singers, whatever your dream is, you would be able to meet people from there. And it would be an underground movement, but an underground movement that's getting more and more and more above ground. So we would have all these different, like, this is a media outlet for them too. And it's just, it can work. I knew it could work in '78. A lot of people thought I was crazy, but here it is working, and you're absolute proof of that. I mean, I've had people on here from all over the world, different places, and this is like proof. It's like, well, Laura's doing it, and that's what's so exciting, Now I know that you haven't long been married, so we can't leave him out. So share with everybody, how did that happen? I mean, how did you meet your husband?
Well, I was newly separated, and I wasn't really even dating, and I just met this guy, and he had what was kind of like Arts Alive, but it was for adults. It was like Fishbone. The name of his organization was Fishbone, or still is Fishbone. And they did, it was like an art science technology collaborative. And so there are engineers in there, and they do fire sculptures and projections and all kinds of really interesting stuff with art science and technology. And these scientists and artists get together. And the whole premise behind Fishbone is to leave your ego at the door, come in and play.
There you go.
And so you meet people from all different walks, and you start working on a project together, and suddenly magic happens. I'm with a great guy. I'm having a great life. I'm just, it's like it was just fun.
And he's so into this with you, isn't he?
He's into everything.
Isn't that
he
wonderful?
loves it all, and he does it all. He's an artist too. He's writing plays. He's creating Fishbone del Sur. down there. So we're starting the Art Science Collaborative in Ecuador.
Everybody, make sure you go visit the Funk Zone before they demolish everything. And it's so exciting to have you, Laura.
Oh, thank you.
I can't thank you enough. I know you're really busy. I mean, you heard she's got to take off. So thank you very much, and cheers. Good luck. Keep us in touch with everything going on in Ecuador.
Absolutely.
And send anybody our way. We'd love to put them on
You should
television.
come and visit.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Come and visit Ecuador. Everybody come and visit Ecuador. We have lots of room. We have artist in residencies available. Creative Collaboration Network is our website. And we have artists put work up on there, and different people come on and consider that for their murals or getting artwork done for them. So creativecollaborationnetwork.net.
Okay. Cheers. And you know everybody who's coming up next, don't you? Yes, do not adjust your TV sets, because we may be saying bye-bye to Laura right now, but we're going to see Tutu Time. So stay on TVSB and watch Tutu Time. Bye-bye for now. Lucy Looker will see you next month. Thanks for watching. Lucy Looker, reporter of the Foreave Stars International.
Cheers.
Cheers, Laura. Oh, I just received a text. Oh my goodness, you got me with my hair all in rollers. Anyway, I'm excited because Tutu Time is about to happen, everybody. So all the boys and girls, get ready. It's Tutu Time. It's Tutu Time. It's Tutu Time for the young stars of Foreave. Tell me your goals, tell me your dreams. Tutu Time. Tell me your goals, tell me your dreams at Tutu Time. It's Tutu Time and she loves you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Tutu Time and she loves you. Yeah. Tell me your goals, tell me your dreams. You're the young stars of Foreave. Tutu Time, Tutu Time. It's Tutu Time. If you're staying on TVSB and watching our show, I have a great guest with me. You all will remember Skylar Metcalf. Yes, she's the sister of the triplets, and she's going to tell us all about what's been going on with her. Skylar, how are you doing?
Great.
What's been going on with you?
Well, so this summer, my mom says I have to do homework. So we have a chart with 30 boxes, like 30 little squares on it. So each time I do some work, I get a sticker.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you like that?
Yeah, because my mom says I can win cool prizes, like a skateboard, rollerblades. Well, you have to earn 30 stickers in order to get them.
Wow. And how have you been doing so far in the summer?
Well, let me think. I think I've gone pretty far.
How many stickers do you think you have?
I've already earned my rollerblades.
My goodness, you've already earned your rollerblades. Well, hey, give me a high five. Woo! That's beautiful. Some other stuff you want to tell me about?
Well, I'm going to graduate brownies in a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. Will you go into Girl Scouts?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's another high five. Woo!
Go into juniors.
That's exciting. Tell everybody out there, what is the name of your troupe? I mean, a number. Isn't it a number or a name?
Number 50860.
Wow. Remember the last time you told everybody that you had a couple of friends or a lot of friends, and they went out of town. And then you had to find new friends. So were you able to find some new friends?
Actually, I have two.
Oh, you're very lucky. Who are they?
Well, one of them's Tori. I think I've told you about her. And then Lily. I think I've also told you about her.
Wow. So hello, Lily and Tori. That's great. Well, anyway, you want to come back sometime and tell us all about your life again?
Okay.
I'd love it. So let's say bye-bye from Tutu Time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hi there, you're at Tutu Time, and I have a great guest, as you can see. Yes, we have Jose Espinosa back with us. I'm really excited because he's got lots and lots of things to tell us. So hi, Jose, how you doing?
I am doing well.
Oh my God, oh fantastic. I haven't seen you for so long.
Yeah.
So tell us what's been going on in your life.
I'm transferring to Laguna Blanca. I'm not staying in San Marcos anymore.
Laguna Blanca, that means your scholarship must have been like, they were like, yes, we want Jose, because you're really good at studies, right?
Sure.
Yeah, look at you. You got scholarship, which got you in there, right? Because, for those that don't know, Laguna Blanca is a private school, and it's a real honor to be going to that school, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. It's an awesome school. Right now, before school ended, a group of guys and my environmental science teacher, we began a nonprofit organization, a 501c3 in environmental sciences. Basically, we saw this issue, out of what we use to supply our energy, and that's an issue. And how can we solve this issue? And what can we do today? What can we do right now in the second to solve our issues of tomorrow and provide better opportunities for those of the future, our grandchildren and kids. So basically, we had this idea not too long ago of beginning this nonprofit organization with the emphasis on raising awareness in the community. And also our biggest endeavor for the next upcoming 2 years is to have stationary bikes in each high school that regenerate electricity. The actual effect these bikes are going to have, it's not tremendous economically or technologically speaking. It's going to be minor. But it's a socio and psychological effect it will have on the community and on these high school students. And it will help them understand and feel part of this movement, which is, how can we live more sustainably with our environment? How can we cope with our environment? How can we not damage our environment as much? And how can we create better tomorrow? How can we create these renewable energies much more efficient and much more affordable for the common man to be able to afford? And that is our priority. Future endeavors, right now we see this issue where developing nations are becoming more polluted, and that's a serious struggle, health-wise, socially wise, in these communities, because most of these developing nations are really poor. And how can we, and the damage they're causing to the environment is extremely higher than the United States has in the prior years, because these nations, India is becoming the most populated nation by 2030. So how can we reduce pollution in these areas? How can we create habits in these villages in these developing nations that will better the environment as opposed to worsen it by using fossil fuels? And I strongly believe that if we're able to send renewable energies and better, more sustainable technologies to these places, to these developing communities, we could potentially see less hypothetical pollution situations.
Incredible. So I get it now. So it's like if every school or every corporation or every bank, everybody, even home, not only would you be exercising and losing weight, folks, which would be awesome as we go through our lives, but we would actually be creating energy for the home that we live in, for the school that we're in, for the hospitals. They could do this in hospitals. That's a really clever idea. And prisons. Oh my gosh, they do a lot of exercise in prison. Make them make energy.
They have similar stuff going on already, some organizations around the United States that are doing this. This is prison, more urban area that are having their inmates plant trees in the community.
Right.
So it's more of it's also psychological, because they've noticed that these prisoners are being affected emotionally by doing this. And they're learning a lot of things, and they're being exposed to the environment and just changing their lives. Even though it may not appear as that life change just planting a tree, but it turns out that it is pretty life changing for these individuals who are inmates at prisons.
It makes them aware of help in their community.
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrific. I mean, oh my goodness, it's always a pleasure to have you on Tutu Time, Jose. So please do come back, give us more exciting news about your life, and we wish you all the best. Let's say goodbye from Tutu Time. Bye, everybody. Welcome back to the Mini Woodstock Festival. Yes, you're on TVSB, and don't forget you can get us online, www.tvsb.tv/voice. Yes, go on there at the same time that Mini Woodstock is on. Saturdays at 3, Sundays at 10, Mondays at 11, and Wednesdays at 12 noon. And of course, don't forget you can get us on YouTube. Well, I hope you enjoyed Tutu Time this month. Now we're going to see what the artist segment holds for us today. Yes, I have a great guest. She's an entrepreneur, and she's going to tell us all about herself. She is an artist in her own right, and I'd like to introduce you to Jenny Schatzel. Hi, Jenny. How you doing? Cheers.
Cheers.
So listen, I want to know, I know it's all to do with keeping healthy what you do.
Yes.
So I would really like you to just share with everybody, you know, where you were born, if you came into Santa Barbara, how you got this idea that you have to help everybody out there. So tell us all about yourself, Jenny.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Well, my name is Jenny Schatzel, and I'm originally from Minnetonka, Minnesota. But I've been in Santa Barbara for about 12 years, and I love it. I think it's the greatest place on earth, and it's just filled with fun, happy, healthy people. So I have opened and started an amazing fitness facility here in Santa Barbara. So I've been training in this town for about 10 years.
Wow.
And a year ago, I opened my own facility.
So tell us a little bit before that then, before you got to the idea to open your facility.
Yeah,
What brought that all on? Why did you have this dream? Because this is like a dream of yours, obviously.
Absolutely, yes. So in high school and college, I was an athlete, and I was a dancer, dance team, and I actually got a job at the local Gold's Gym while I was attending school here in Santa Barbara. And while I was working the front desk, they said to me, I used to love to take classes. And so they said to me, Jenny, you're loud, you have rhythm, people like you, let us teach you how to teach classes. And so I learned how to teach classes, and I loved it. So I was teaching cardio kickboxing, high-low, I started teaching spin, and my classes became quite popular.
Wow.
And so then they asked me to become a personal trainer.
Mm.
So I did that. Again, I loved it. I worked for Gold's for about 7 years. And during that process, really grew as a person and my healthy lifestyle. And so I decided to go out on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really, really fun.
And so when did you actually start the idea of going out on your own? Was that recently or?
So about 5 or 6 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been up there 5 or 6 years you've been out there.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's, tell everybody the name of it.
So it's called the Jenny Schatzel Program. And we're located right on Gutierrez and Salsa Puedes. So I've had my own facility for about a year.
Wow.
But before that, I was renting space out of local gyms. So I was more of an independent contractor. I was doing a Saturday morning class out down by the ocean outside at a local park. And that class just kept growing and growing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's lovely.
Yeah. So what I was doing was boot camp type classes. And we really turned that into a program. So we don't like to say boot camp anymore. What we do is a 6-week program. So it's 6 weeks. It's unlimited classes. We now have 9 classes a day.
That's fantastic.
Right?
How do you fill up 9?
Oh, and they're full. And
how big is the classes?
It's a big size room, and we have everything from treadmills to spin bikes to rowers, bands, kettlebells, weights, and it's all levels. It's the most incredible program, and I want to invite viewers watching this right now to come and try a class. It's every level, age, shape, size. And what I believe really sets us apart is we're all about positive energy. You walk into that room and it's non-judgmental, it's non-intimidating. We have from extreme athletes to literally women and men who are 400 pounds, wanting to make a life change, getting off the couch, and their whole life they've been scared to do it, and we're the place that has opened the door, and we welcome them.
Oh my goodness, I was only dreaming about this not so long ago going, I need somebody to kick my booty.
I'm right here.
I need somebody.
Yeah.
But it's real hard because it's trying to find time. That's right. I mean, is this an expensive program, or do you have like student prices and seniors prices, or what? I mean, how does that work?
So what we do is, and I'm a firm believer in, you can't let money stop you. You can't let your excuses stop you. You know, it's amazing to me. We'll go out to a steak and wine and drop $100 on a Friday night, no problem. But then we don't want to invest in our own health. You know, it's about your priorities and what is so important. The one thing you can't buy back is your health and your time.
Yes.
And so I really want everybody to realize that your number one priority is you.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you have to choose you.
So what made you have this feeling about people? Because you must love people.
I do. I love people.
Something happened for you that
and
you
that's
got that
actually
love.
what got us to this facility. Is when I was doing personal training, the one-on-one, I loved it, but I really missed the groups. And it's proven actually, when you're working out in a group, you burn more calories, you work harder, and it creates accountability. If you know people are there waiting for you, you're going to want to go. And so what I really missed was the energy and the fun and the camaraderie of a group. And so I wanted to go back to that. So I went from group training to personal training back to the groups. And now we've just taken that concept and run with it. And it's just been incredible.
Wow.
It's so fun. You are coming to try a class. She's coming. It's on camera. You're going to love it.
The other thing is, I think you are an entertainer, obviously, to be able to, because you have to get in front of the group.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Light
you have
on
to,
the whole thing.
Yeah, and you have to show them everything. So, yeah, so it's like you are entertaining the group to come along and do what you're doing and so forth.
100%.
But how does that work, though, if, like someone like me, I mean, geez, to get cracking, it's going to take a whip. But it's like, you know, everybody else would be spinning ahead there, way ahead, and I would be feeling like, oh, no, you know.
Well, so what we do is we do 6-week programs. So we all start together. Week 1 is all about slowing it down, going over basic movements, just making sure everybody feels really comfortable in the facility. Literally, we take it at every level. So for you, you might just be walking on the treadmill.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
While the person next to you is sprinting at 10.0 and you're walking, and it's a high five, great job, because doing something is better than doing nothing. And you have to remember, we all have to start somewhere. This is the thing. Everybody wants the life change. They want to eat better. They want to have better energy. They want to exercise. But we're our biggest enemy. Mm-hmm. We stop ourselves before we even start. Because here's what you think. What if I can't keep up? I'm not going to know anybody. I'm scared. I'm intimidated. There's no way I can do this.
Yeah.
When you've just talked yourself out of something that you want. So what we do is we really, really encourage people to lose that fear and to stop stopping yourself. Because you can do this, and we're a community that's going to help you to reach your goals.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you were also telling me that the program had something to do with food as well, and diet. So
one thing I found was, you know, when you go to a gym or group fitness, that there was no nutrition element about it. And to be honest, whatever your goals are, but a lot of people, their goal is to lose weight.
Right.
And I like to say 70% of losing weight comes from what you eat. One of my mantras is you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And so one thing is when you join a group fitness class or a regular gym, you weren't getting that nutrition. Nobody was keeping you accountable for what you ate. So what we do is we do 6-week programs. It's unlimited classes, and then also we do meal plans. So we actually have a registered dietitian on our staff, and every week we send you what you should eat. You write down what you actually eat, and then she gives you feedback. So it's a really great eye-opener, because a lot of people don't realize until they write it down, and you look at it, and you think, wow, you know, I am drinking too much wine at night, or on the week I'm doing really great during the week, and then the weekends I blow it. And when you can see that, you kind of realize what you've been doing. Shopping list, we give an outline, and then we give you a very detailed weekly meal plan. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks. At the beginning of every session, we hold a nutrition seminar. So we really go through and make sure everybody understands, you know, what it is they should be eating. And again, it's a non-judgmental, program. So the beauty of it is when you write it down, we can see, well, if you were eating really well for 5 days, working out super hard, totally restricting yourself, and then you just went off the deep end, I can sit you down and say, well, you know what, you're not eating enough during the week. That's why on the weekends you're going for it. And people realize
because you're feeling
deprived.
Yeah, you're deprived.
So we can point that out. So you realize, oh, I need more balance, and this is what I'm doing wrong, and to help you change your habits. Because one thing is, it's not so much about changing what you eat; it's about changing your habits.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of us emotionally eat. A lot of us eat out of boredom. So when we can start realizing what triggers us to eat and why we're overeating or what is our downfall, and we start changing those habits, everything else changes. When you feel good and when you're at your best, and everybody knows that's when you're working out, when you're eating right, because when you're at your best, everybody around you is going to be at their best. And
That's
you know
true.
that, isn't that true?
Well, yeah, because I'm a Buddhist, and I know that we reflect into the environment.
Yes.
The way
100%.
we are reflects into the environment. I
Yeah.
know. I totally agree. It's true. I mean, everything you say is so fantastic and true, and it's like,
Love you.
and it's like, how come I can't get this?
Well, you're coming to class, so she's coming.
I think it's because I forget what I said to someone the other day on Facebook. I said, gosh darn it, I need a personal trainer to get me moving. But it's like, where am I going to find the extra time? And
You don't have to find it. You have to make the time. You have to, what I see a lot
you have to put it into your schedule.
and you just have to make the time.
So hard.
This is one thing I see, and especially, I see it in everybody. You see it a lot.
Especially us oldies.
Well, no, and you see it a lot in moms and
Oh, yeah,
and a lot of parents.
moms.
And a lot of
Oh,
parents,
parents.
is we tend to put ourselves
Grandparents even.
grandparents, absolutely. We tend to put ourselves at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. That's
We
true.
put everybody else in front of us, and before we know it, we're in an unhappy place with our bodies, with our energy, and we're sitting there one day and thinking, what just happened? And now
It's so
I don't have
true.
any time for me, and it's too late, and you're discouraged, and you're down. How do you get back up? Well, you know what? You got to put yourself higher on that list
Well,
because you're worth it, and you deserve it, and it's your life. It's not your kid's life. It's not your sibling's life. It's not your husband, your wife's life. It's your life. And I need to tell everybody, I'm such a firm believer in when you're at your best, everybody around you will be at their best. And that's what really we promote.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, your family. You have brothers and sisters?
I do. I have a brother and a sister. I have a niece and two nephews, everybody living in Minnesota.
Nice.
So my parents are fabulous, and everybody comes out to visit me. I'm still trying to get them to come out over Christmas because I have to go there, and I'm over the winters. But so, yeah, it's great. I have no plans of leaving Santa Barbara. I got engaged, and so, future plans are eventually get married, but, I really believe I have a message, and that message is there's 3 things in your life: fitness, nutrition, and happiness are the ways to improve your life. And so I believe I have a message, and I would love to give it out to the masses.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, everybody out there, I hope you really enjoyed Jenny today. So get in touch with her. She's on Facebook, and she has an email, and you'll be able to see it at the bottom of the screen. So cheers, Jenny.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I
and
really
good
appreciate
luck.
Thank you.
And you can always come back, and I do believe you have a silent partner out there somewhere.
Yes, I do. There is another half to my business. His name is Stephen Stowe. He's an incredible man, and I'm going to get him back in here, and you can interview him.
Oh, that would be lovely. Well, I'll do that. Well, everybody, don't adjust your TV sets because we may be saying bye-bye to Jenny right now, but musician segment is coming up next. To stay on TVSB, don't adjust your TV sets. We're saying bye-bye for now from the artist section. Well, welcome back to the Mini Woodstock Festival. I hope you enjoyed the artist segment that you just watched. Yes, I'm at the musician segment, and I'm very excited today. I have a great musician that everybody would know in Santa Barbara if they thought about it for sure. He probably played with you or many other things. This guy's name is Nick. Yes, Nick Hoffman. Very excited to meet Nick. So Nick, how are you? It's so
It's great.
So happy you
I'm
came.
vibe to the max to be here, and it's a privilege.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! And I know, I think you are a local lad.
I am.
You
yeah.
were born in Montecito.
Not born. I was born in Boston, but I went to high school here, and you know,
What
and
school
ever
did you
since
go
then,
to
I went to
here?
Laguna, and
Laguna, my goodness.
yeah, Laguna Blanca.
Tell us a little bit about why you decided you loved to play music and you wanted to be a musician. Why, you know?
When I was like in the 6th grade, a few of my buddies, we got together and sang a vocal, started harmonizing to vocal harmonies in like doo-wop groups, and we had our own little mini radio station. And when that vocalization hit me, it just kind of put me in another world, and I've always tried to recreate that, and the music and playing with other people has been, you know, a great thing for me through the years, and it still is.
Remember any of the things you did around Santa Barbara when you were young?
Well, being as that I hit it during the high school age, we you know, we played sports, played soccer, we drove fast cars, and you know, went down the highway at 80 miles an hour, not knowing your parents were right behind you, and then of course they got you a really slow car after that, and you know, the usual, you know, trying to get by in school, and we had pressure to go to college from Laguna and all that kind of stuff. So you know, just rocking and rolling like teenagers do.
How old were you when you left Boston?
Well, I left Boston like when I was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you don't know
but
much about Boston.
We lived down in L.A. And then we moved back to New York. And after, from New York, my parents relocated here to Santa Barbara.
Great. Oh, so do you have other family members, sisters, brothers?
I have a brother that lives here, and then I have 5 others but they're not located here.
Did you have 5 children? So
Yeah.
are they locally situated, or?
No, yeah. Let's see. My daughter is she works at the Coral Casino at the Ty Warner place.
Oh.
And then one of my kids works at CVS, and others at Ross, and then you know, I have 2 other kids that are not in town right now.
Wow, so they do live locally, so that's probably nice for you. Do you have a significant other, a wife?
Yeah, I'm married.
Oh,
yeah, I got my wedding ring on.
Oh, nice. And what's your wife's name?
Laurel.
Hi, Laurel.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for letting us have him tonight.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your music. I know that you absolutely love to play guitar.
Right. I've been playing guitar for years, and I play
When
bass.
did that start? Oh, you played both guitars.
My mom, when I was about 11, she got me guitar lessons, and I was real resistant, but she made me sit in the corner and practice a half hour a day. And then when I got into like the first year of high school, noticed guitar. Oh, there's girls, guitar, girls, guitar. So I figured, well, I can do this, and you know, I just zapped right along after I made the connection of that. And thanks, Mom, for you know, for all your help and having the guitar teacher come over and all that kind of stuff. So.
Are your parents still with us?
No, they're not.
You. Neither am I. I was like, gosh, you're so lucky.
That would be longevity.
Yeah, that would be. So tell us a little bit, when did you start like putting the idea together that, okay, you play guitar and, you know, playing with groups and going out there and playing? When did that all happen?
Okay, that all happened in the 60s. I at first was like a folk singer like Bob Dylan, and I played with the harmonica holder and kazoo, and wanted to be a one-man band like jug bands and stuff. And then I heard the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. Their first record came out, and I don't know if anybody in the audience should be familiar with Paul Butterfield, but it was the first urban blues that you know, was that hit me, and it was just a life game changer for me. And right after that, I said, I want to go electric. I want to play electric. I want to play with drums. I want to have that slam and rock and roll beat. You know, even though I grew up like with Elvis and Buddy Holly, I still kind of wanted to be a folk singer up until Paul Butterfield came, and then of course the Doors and Byrds and the Beatles and the early Stones as well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I was like wanting. You know, I created my own sound, metal rock motoring, you know,
Yeah.
and brought myself out as a metal rock motoring superstar from England, and did it all because I wanted to do everything myself. And Maxwell, what are you doing? As usual, Maxwell has to be a part of the show.
That's good.
And we can't do anything, but Maxwell has to be a part of it. Come over here. You should have. Oh, he's on your lap. Oh, he loves you.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I hope you don't mind.
Well, I got a lot of dogs.
Oh, that's why.
Smells them.
Yeah, you better sit down then. Anyway, so tell us a little bit about, so you're in, I know that you was telling me a little bit about Hollywood. Were you playing around Hollywood?
We were. We moved down to Hollywood in '65, and we got an agent named Greg Jacobson was attracted to us, and he wanted to represent us, and he knew Terry Melcher. So we played a few gigs. We played like Gazzari's and Pandora's Box.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, right on the strip, and so Terry. Well, actually, I had this girlfriend. Her name was Maria, and she was quite a great singer and dancer and everything else. And Terry and actually Phil Spector wanted to produce her too, and so Terry signed the two of us and put us together with Mark Andes, who was the bass player with Spirit, and went on to play with Firefall and Heart. And then Denny Bruce was the drummer. He went on to produce the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and he was like grooming us and we practiced up at the house on Beverly Cannon, Terry's house.
Yeah.
Which I guess we might refer to later on.
Right. Well, we can talk about that as well, because I know you have a business. So Nick is not only a fabulous musician, but he's also got a business and is an entrepreneur as well, which Lucy Looker will take over and totally interview you about your whole life and your business. Tell me something else. What made you always stay in Santa Barbara?
Well, we lived in L.A. and we lived but once my kids were born, then that happened in '77, and sort of raised them up here. Picked it as a town, that was probably as good as any. I have a house here. So,
okay, so you just moved here.
Yeah, and I bought it way back in the day, so
Oh, it was nothing.
And I couldn't duplicate that living situation anywhere else.
Did you say you played with Hart?
No, the bass player Mark Andes, that Terry Melcher was trying to hook us up to start a band, went on to play with Hart later.
Oh, okay, because I have a friend on Facebook. Actually, I met him, Adam Leon, and I think he has something to do with Hart. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, hi Adam out there if you see this. So, wow, and right now you're playing with bands locally? Do you have a few names you want to tell people about? And dates?
Anytime you can. The Lifters. I don't have my schedule in front of us, but it's in the Independent, and meet me up on Facebook. Nick Hoffman, hit me up and I'll put all the dates of where I'm playing. The Fog, we're playing at the Heal the Ocean benefit that's coming up, and we're playing at the Fiesta inaugural.
In August, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be at the Carriage Museum.
Oh,
we
nice.
have that gig. It's pretty cool. And the Lifters is another band that we have, and I couldn't leave out the Forbidden Blues band, even though we're not playing right now. And Garth Fruhl and Snake Farmer. I want to shout out to my buds.
That's awesome. Yeah. Other things you do, I know you love to do karate.
Right. I all credit goes to my Sifu Michael McDonald and the Valhalla Training Center, and everybody should check that out. It's a very positive environment, and if you need that little lift, that little change, something that'll just take you to the other level, and you're not unable to do that on your own, there's a great support group down there, and I find tremendous satisfaction from being associated with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be great if we did a jam. What do you say?
I'm up for it.
That's great. Well, Maxwell, you're just going to have to get off of Nick's lap for him to do a jam, I know you love him. Well, anyway, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Now stay on TVSB because Nick is going to do a jam with As We Are. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back shortly.